let's start. First speaker. Let's use your phone for time. No. You can see the topic here. You don't have to go with your book. Today's topic. Uncle. 2 minutes. Oh, hi. Why don't you want me to touch your phone? Okay, ready? Start.
I think there's nothing first reason I don't believe all super souls exist because there are no relative conference they explain about ghosts or souls existence. Second reason, I don't believe that afterlives exist. The existence. Because serious reasons there are no many conferences about afterlife that actually explain about afterlife. In conclusion, I don't believe about afterlife. I don't believe afterlives or ghosts are exists.
So, you didn't answer. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. You can just do a presentation on what we about. Okay? Your belief can come as conclusion. Okay? It says, what do you think happens to human after they die? Actually, this topic is going to be a tricky topic. Reason because we are all still living. None of us have died. So no one actually knows what happens to people when they die. But in further studies in this topic in the classroom, we studied about the human life is made up of 3 stages: the body, the soul, and the spirit. Furthermore, we also studied about reincarnation. We studied about afterlife. We studied about judgment, and we were told that people, when they die, some of them go to heaven or go to hell. Then that will build your sentence, and then finally, when you want to round up, then you can go ahead and explain that. But the truth is, you don't believe that ghost or afterlife exists. Then you give your reason, and then you round up. That's how to make a presentation. Come on. Okay, ready? Go.
Today's topic about what do you think happens to humans after they die. I don't think I would up to date like after when people die, but I the bugs in the body when people go under the ground, and the body larger noticeable, and it means the period of expansion. Maybe expansion. When the period of the time the bug is very many in their place. And next step is the body, the eyes and ears, and also the bodies. There has a liquid. That has a liquid that makes soils more good, and the liquid still the liquid go under the ground, and it makes the soils very good. And the body is only with the bones, hairs, without the skin. When it took more, maybe 4 years to 10 years. And it only left 10% of the weight. I don't believe the afterlife is real. Someone believe the afterlife is real. In the movie of Coco set in Mexico, the souls can live comfortably when other people believe him. But in Korea, we should go to seven house to judge our such our crimes when he alive. But I think why we should get hurt time when we die. In foreign country we can live very happily when we die. So if I die, I want to die in the foreign country. Like Mexico. Mexico has every day has party like that. In conclusion, I don't think often about this, but I think that Korea is very bad place to die.
So, let's go ahead and take that, Papa. We spoke for 3 minutes, 58 seconds. Come on, do it again. Go, go, go.
메인 아이디어를 촬영.
will link it to this. This. Okay? So if people die, their soul can come back to their family if they are good. Okay? So if they live good life, then they can come back to their family and then they can be born like a little baby again. So they can be rebirthed. Okay? And then they can start living again. Alright? And then it's soul of the dead appearing in a place over and over again. Okay? This one is also linked to judgment. But there's no hell. So this is Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic. Maybe you know this. Catholic belief. In this purgatory, they believe that when people die, if they are bad people, they are kept here, purgatory. This place, they have to go through difficult life. Okay? Difficult life to save themselves. Maybe they have to do a lot of work, they have to stay without food, they can save themselves. So they stay here for a long time, and then after the time, maybe depending on their sins, if they are very, 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 very bad people, maybe they stay for 10 years, and then after that, they go to heaven. Okay, so okay. And then after that, after explaining this, then you can now say, but in your opinion, you don't believe all of this. And then you give your opinion. Go with this. Sure. See. This is your first presentation, right? No? Yes. Oh, your first. Okay. Go ahead. Start.
I think there nothing happened after a human died. And I don't believe about the religion like heaven or hell or exists. First, I don't believe that souls or ghosts exist. Actually, we couldn't find about content that consists about souls or ghosts existence. And that's the reason. Second, I don't believe that I'll live after life. And going in heaven or hell. For the reason of both, there are two relative concepts about after life. And or hell and heavens. That's the reason I don't want to live after life or empty life. It's unfair to living this being almost. In conclusion, I think nothing happened after human died and if I die, I believe I won't go to heaven or hell. And legend is just legend.
Why did you just do? You did the same thing. So, like, it's not about, like I told you before, it's not about what you believe, okay? Sometimes our belief system can be compromised. Sometimes, okay? That's why we study. Alright? That's why we study. Do you, as a Korean, do you believe English language exists? You never believed there was anything like English language until you started learning English. Now you believe there is English language and you can speak English. Same with any topic that we talked about, okay? So most topics or most things that we learn are things we do not know about. There are things we've never heard about. Alright? And there are things we don't believe it happens, it exists. But does it exist? The question is, does it really exist? The answer is yes, it does exist. Yes, it exists. I'll give you an example. Maybe because you're new, you were not here when we did this topic. We have to do a recap, a review of the topic, real quick. I'll give you so many examples to teach you more. Not to change your belief, but to let you know some of the things that really happens, okay? The topic says, what do you think happens to humans after they die? Now, do people die? Yes, people die. Do we believe that people die? Yes, we believe that people die. Have you lost someone before? Maybe yes, but me, I've lost a lot of people around me. Okay? I've lost uncles, I've lost cousins, I've lost siblings, I've lost my father. And I've lost my grandmother from my father's mom, and I've lost my grandfather from my mom's family. Alright? So these are so many people I've lost. Did I see them? Did I ever get a chance to see them again? Like real, one-on-one? Maybe no. Did I ever get a chance to see them or feel their presence around me? Yes. For example, my dad. After he passed away, I felt his presence around me so many times. And in so many times, he would want to talk to me as well. Do people have special gifts to seeing ghosts? Yes. You can research. A lot of people have that gift. A lot of people see ghosts. But maybe you can't see it because you don't have the gift. Do ghosts actually exist? Maybe also yes. Because some people have seen ghosts and they've talked about it. In as much as I have not seen one, or I cannot say I have boldly seen one and spoken to one, doesn't mean other people's or every other person is lying. No. Do you understand? So that's why we study, that's why we learn. In as much as you don't believe in something, doesn't mean that the facts are not real. It doesn't mean that people are all saying lies. No. Alright, so that's why I used do you believe English language exists? Because it's like very, like, yeah, you know. Maybe because maybe if you had no chance to study English, you would also believe that there is nothing like English. English, no, it doesn't exist. All right, but you've gone to study, you've been studying, and now you realize that yes, there's something called English language, right? Before I came to Korea, do I know anything like Hangul? No. Do I believe Hangul exists? No. But when I came to Korea, I saw Hangul. I could write my name. I could write my name in Korean now. Why? Because I learned, right? Because I learned. A few years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I never believed that if someone showed me this and said, "What is this?" I would look. I wouldn't know what that means, right? But right now, if I see the name, I could write it. I could see this and know that this is Jilmun. Okay? You know, I could see this and this is Cha Song. and then this is Gori Dogi, something like that. You know, but before I learned Hangul, do I believe it exists? Before, no. Do you understand? That's the idea. So, first, what we talked about on this topic is, do you have a religion? A lot of people have religion. There are different kinds of, so many religion. In Korea, the basic two religion that they practice is Buddhism and Christianity in Korea. Most people are Buddhists or Christians. It's just recently that young people began to say we don't have religion in Korea. Okay? Our Asian fathers are either Buddhist or Christians. You know. And then there is religion called Islam. There's religion called so many religions, so many of them. You know. So the next is, do we believe in souls or ghosts? I personally believe in soul. Why? Because I explained to the class the last time that human life is divided into three. One is the body, two is the soul, and the third one is the spirit. So the human body, the human beings are classified into three main parts. Okay? Do we believe that human beings have body? Yes. Yes, we all have body. Do we believe human beings have soul? Yes. Ask me how. Have you ever dreamt in your dream you traveled, you left your home and you found yourself somewhere, and in that dream maybe you traveled to Jeju and you were just playing in Jeju Island, enjoying yourself, having fun, and then when it's morning and your alarm is ringing in your room, your soul runs back to come back to your body. That is why I believe there's soul. Because most times, even when you are awake, sometimes you're sitting and you're looking, but your soul has gone out. Sometimes even people you are awake and you're in a class and maybe your heart is thinking about something else. Let's welcome the fifth speaker, number 5. Okay, ready? Go. 박수. So for 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Now let's welcome the last speaker, number 6. No, you don't have to go with your phone. Okay, go.
My critique is what the impetus to humans after they die. After humans die, I think they will go a place where they their sins. If someone has broken they will go heaven and they are happy. Someone has they will go them and they punish it as that. Thank you.
Number 1 and number 6. Number 1, first speaker, do you want to do it again? Okay, so number 1 and number 6, you guys have to write essay. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, you passed it. Okay. Although I wouldn't have accepted, but because it's a little bit difficult topic, I will just pass you guys. Okay. So number 1 and number 6, your essay topic is so number 1 and number 6, write down the essay topic. Hurry up. Write it down. You have to write it when you get home. That's your homework. And then others, that was a very good presentation by you guys. Some of you listened very well when I explained about this topic, while some of you didn't listen, you didn't bother to listen. If you had listened to all my explanation, why not? You can speak for 2 minutes, without having any problems. What happens to people when they die? Of course, we all know that we never died before, okay? Nobody have ever passed away, but in as much as no one have passed away, we also have had our loved ones who have passed away. Alright? Some of our loved ones who have passed away, my grandfather has passed away. My grandmom, from my paternal grandmom has also passed away. She passed away when I knew that someone could pass away. my uncle had passed away, my cousin had passed away, my siblings, a lot of my siblings have passed away, and my dad have also passed away. So in as much as we say we don't know about what happens to people when they die, we also have seen people who have died around us, right? And one of the main things you should know about people when they die is maybe, just maybe, you would never get a chance to see them again. Alright? To see them like in real human form again. Now, the question of if they exist somewhere, we don't know. But for some stories, a lot of people who also get a chance, they've gotten a chance to see people who have passed away, and they talk to them. Now, apart from that, there is something called special gifts. Some people have special gifts to see ghosts. Yes, really. Some people have special gifts to see spirits and dead people. Some people can talk to dead people and have a conversation with them. Some people can also see ghosts and have a conversation with them. So apart from that, so now what happens? What is life after life? Now afterlife is life that exists after this earth. Of course, we know by science, we knew that there are different other planets that exist, like Pluto, like Mars, like Uranus, like Sun, and so many other planets, right? So now the question is, if people pass away, do they still exist in this planet, or do they go to a different other planet? We don't know. All right. On the other hand, a lot of people believe in reincarnation that some of you mentioned. Reincarnation is simply the rebirth of the soul. All right. And like you guys said, some people believe that the good souls will reincarnate, whereas the bad souls wouldn't get a chance to reincarnate, like some of you said. On the other hand, reincarnation is simply the death coming back to either the family, the same family, or going to a different family. In my culture, there's something we call obanje. Obanje simply means a family can give birth to one child over 4 times. And this is true, and we have seen it. They give birth to a baby, and the baby dies. The woman gets pregnant again, the baby comes back. And the baby dies again. The woman gets pregnant again, the baby comes back again. And the baby dies again. Chincha, this is true. How did they know? When they give birth to the first baby, sometimes they put mark on the baby's body. The baby would die, and when the woman or the mother gives birth again, the same mark would appear. And then they put a different mark maybe here, and the baby would die, and the third baby would have 1 and 2 mark. So the question is, how possible is that? So these are one of the things that builds up people believing in reincarnation. Okay. On the other hand, we mentioned going to heaven and going to hell. Of course, believers, Christians, believe that when people die, their soul, like she said, their body is cremated. All right, cremation is burning. We burn the body and turn it back to ashes, but the soul would go to meet judgment. Now, it is the judgment, someone mentioned judgment. It's the judgment that determines whether you go to heaven or you go to hell. Now, the judgment is simply opening up your story, and showing it to you, showing you the good things you did and all the bad things you did too. All right? And then when they show you, and at the end of the day, if it's that your good deeds are more, or that you were forgiven from all your bad deeds, then you go to heaven. And then, but if you After the evaluation and they see you are very bad, then you go to hell. Alright? So that's the relationship between judgment and what is it called? Judgment and heaven and hell. Okay? So this is a little bit of conclusion about the topic. But on the average, you guys did so well, and I'm so proud of you. Okay? Thank you.